closest I'm going to get to a Coldplay concert for some time, I'm thinking, Craig, so I'm just going with it, you know. How are you? Welcome back. It is a Wednesday. It is 4 p.m. here in the UK. It's 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It means, of course, it's time for Creative Cravings, which I am so looking forward to for a multitude of reasons. Gorgeous products on the show, but also an awesome friend and colleague in the studio as well. Craig is here with me. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. And it's an absolute pleasure to be here on Creative Cravings with you, because if anyone's seen my social media, I was shouting the fact that Ben was on today. I was convinced that yesterday, Joe had told me yesterday was his fake Friday, so he wouldn't be in today. So it's my delight seeing that you were actually in today, and we've got Creative Cravings today. It's going to be fun. Sarah's signature. What else can I say?
It's going to be awesome. My hair is wild, I'm afraid.
My hair.
Craig, I love it. I think Craig's spiky hair, I'm loving it. Craig, you look a little bit like, I don't know, like a bit French almost. You know, get a berry and some onions on you. I think you look very Parisian.
Yeah. Maybe. I can't speak French.
But I let my funky business do the talking. If any girls allowed to fans out there, you'll love it. Right, let me share with you what we've got coming up in this show, because it is going to be mostly about one awesome collection for you, and that collection, it is the Sarah Signature Rose Garden collection. It is absolutely incredible. You have got so much within here. You have got absolutely everything you know. You've got loads of metal dies. You have got paper pads in here in an abundance. You've got stamp sets. There are embossing folders in here. You've got wooden frames and corner elements. We've even got stamens and flower forming foam. There's a wax seal kit that I'm going to talk to you about. But basically, it is incredible. There are some smaller bundles on the show, but by buying the larger bundle, you're saving an extra £29.95. It's an awesome price. I love that it's all in stock for you as well. £150 or $202. The only way to get the patterned paper, the 12 by 12 patterned papers, is to get it in the show as by the show bundle, I would say. Just want to talk to you about that price, because it is incredible. Everyone is saving £64 or $87. Everyone's going to get free postage and packaging and free shipping and handling as well when they order in this show, which is awesome. Club Inspire Platinum members, you can get this for £120 or $161, meaning that you are saving over $120, over £95 as a Club Inspire Platinum member. It's an awesome deal on an awesome collection. But what I do know as well is that loads of you already own this collection. So please, please, please send me in your pictures. I'd love to see what you've been creating with this Sarah Signature collection. You can do that by emailing me studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk in the usual ways. If you want to have a little bit of a chat with us, you want to let us know what you're up to, then please feel free to do so across on the Crafters TV Facebook live page. Drop into the live chat there. Slide into the DMs over on YouTube by searching for Crafters Companion as well, and we will have a little bit of a gossip and a natter. Sally's in already from Braunton. Mary's in from Montana. Did you know that director George, Sally, used to live literally just down the road from Braunton? He was telling me yesterday. Molly, Braunton in North Devon. That's where Sally was from, Georgina. Mary Pat was in Montana. No. Molly Hannah, is in, she's not from Montana. That would be too funny. She says, hi, Craig and Joe. I love it when you guys are together. We love it when we're together as well. I can't wait for Joe and Craig. Should be fun. Get ready to giggle, said in my best wrestling announcer's voice. Get ready to giggle. There we go. Right, we're going to... Was that all right?
Good.
Was it good? Okay. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. That's me sounding the bell for the start.
We just need that microphone to come down from the ceiling.
Right, it's an awesome collection, Craig. What is it about this collection? Why has this been so popular? Also, could you give us an idea of what you've got planned over the next couple of hours? Because, I mean, it's going to be impossible to demo it all. There is just too much of it, isn't there?
There really, really is. So yes, primarily we're going to be focusing on the Rose Garden. We may sneak in a couple of other wee bits that we've got on the show as well, but it is mostly all about a Rose Garden. What you're going to be able to do is, within that full bundle, you're going to be able to, if you want, strip it all the way back. And that's actually what we're going to do with this first demo. I know usually on Creative Cravings, we tend to go that little bit more far in advance, which we are going to do. But if you are relatively new, because we've got lots of new viewers, lots of new crafters with obviously everything that's going on in the world. Great collection to get started with. Just invest in a die cutting machine and you literally are good to go. Some adhesives as well and you're good. So I thought what we'll do is we'll make a little bit of a concept card, and what we're also going to use, Joe, is the Adorning lace. Now this is where we've got kind of like, it's an edgeable basically, but then what we've also got is these little corners as well. So these are our dies that we're going to use. So what I've done is I brought in, it's a handmade card blank. So my cardstock, it is 11 3/4 by 5 inches. And then what I've done, I've scored it in at 5 1/4 inches. So this gives me our card blank with a bit of edger on the side just here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in our die, so this one being the Adorning lace. And what I'm going to do is with this die, all of that detail in the middle cuts out. The edge cuts out here, but this side here, there's not a cutting edge, so that's not going to come away. In other words, it's going to stay within the cardstock, and you'll see what I mean with that in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my die into place. If you've got your glass mat, you could, if you want to, use it so that you're lining it up. What I'm doing is the point of this die I'm putting to the edge of my cardstock, and then we're going to then bring this one in, and I'm going to keep it straight. What I noticed earlier on today, Joe, which would have been Wake Up Call with Craig, if you look at the colours throughout this rose garden, and you'll certainly notice it at the side of you, Joe, how well does this work with knitwear?
Do you know what else it works with as well?
What's that?
Caring Thoughts. Not the
yeah.
same, not the same, but definitely complementary colour tones is what I would say. I would say that Caring Thoughts is maybe a bit less floral, Craig.
I would say so.
But a very similar colour tone. And I would say that Knitwits is maybe equally floral, but on a deeper colour palette.
Yeah.
So definitely, and a bit more abstract and ethereal maybe. But absolutely, they'll work well together. What a great idea.
Absolutely, yeah. So whether you're running along the same colour tones, whether they're lighter, they're deeper, you can absolutely pull them together and mix and match. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to peel this die off. Now what we're going to do is let's bring in, so I've got my little scissors. So there's just a tiny, tiny edge at there. I just need to snip away. And then what happens is you'll be able to see here, we've got all of this detail that's die cut. What I'm going to do is if I bring in my tool, I'm going to go over the top, and this is just going to get rid of all these little bits that are still in place. Might even need our pokey tool. Anything that you see me using, you always just check out our website, as then that means it's you're going to find it across there. What I'm then going to do is poke these bits out. Usually what would happen is these would come out pretty much straight away. However, Mr. Naughty here didn't clean my die from when I used it on Wake Up Call this morning. So these little bits are just staying in place. So I just need to poke them out myself and get these last couple.
Sally's messaged me back. She says, George must be famous, you know. She says, yes, I know about George from Braunton. There you go. That's our director, George, that Sally's talking about. She says, it's only a small place, supposed to be the largest village in England, but not sure if that's true. George must be famous around those parts then, Sally, is he? Do let me know. I'll be having a word with him when I see him on Sunday. She says, it's a very, very old church that people from all over the world visit in better times. Well, do you know what? Hopefully, one day I'll get to visit that church in Braunton. I was down that part of the world over the August bank holiday and it was absolutely gorgeous. Tall Chicky says, I've got a bit of avocado on this worktop, Craig. Tall Chicky says, I'm sorry, I'm going to clean this, don't let Jenny see. Tall Chicky says, I have pieces of the gorgeous collection. Mary Pat as well says, I have a partial collection because I purchased it on HSN. It's really, really pretty. There are smaller collections as well that I'm going to go through, and all the individuals will be available on the website as well. So if you did want to sort of cherry pick and maybe top your collection up, or come back and get a few more of the consumables, I'm going to be taking care of all of that for you as we go through the show.
There's so much that you can use in conjunction with this. Or, the good thing with getting that big bundle is obviously you can do so much having it all with you at home. But then you can absolutely cherry pick when you are crafting at home. You maybe just want to refine how many elements you're going to use, or maybe you want to go all out and throw it all on a card. Whichever way that you do it, you know that it's going to work really, really elegantly together. And then what I'm doing is I'm bringing in just a bit of black card to make it easier for you to see. So we've created our edgeable card. What I'm going to do is, again, there's a tiny little bit just here I need to snip away. So we've got, it reminds me of kind of like wrought iron work, you know, when you can see all the swirls and the fine points that are in the die. And I'm also going to show you on that one there so you can see how it's looking. Then what I'm going to do is I've already taken a piece.
I love it doubled up, Craig.
Yeah,
really gorgeous.
Really, really nice, doesn't it? But then what you could do is you could use it as a pocket if you want. So if you popped adhesive down each side, then what that could then be is a little pocket for maybe a wedding invite or a party invite. You know, you can think of all these other ways that you can use that one. But what I have done is I've taken a piece, and this is from our 6x6 paper pad, and I've just cut it so that it is the same height of my card. And to get this shape here, Joe, what I've done is I've taken this die again, I've popped it up into place, then using a pencil, I've just drawn around so I can get that guide. And then what we can do is we can then come along using our scissors, using our craft knife, and then we can just trim that out. So then you've got that flow of
Reminds
your
me
die
of something,
cut.
but I can't think what.
What was that, sorry?
I think the shape reminds me of something, but I'm not sure what. It looks like an open book, doesn't it? That's what it looks like.
It does actually, doesn't it? Or hills.
Yeah, or hills.
Or car humps.
Or what?
Car humps.
Car humps, sleeping policemen as they're called here in the UK.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's a funny thing to call them, isn't it?
Car
Sleeping
humps.
policemen. Why would you
right,
run
so-
over a sleeping policeman?
I don't know. Sleeping policemen.
Car humps.
Car humps.
Is that what you call them? Speed bumps.
Speed bumps. Car humps.
Oh yeah, we call them. I've always known them as sleeping policemen.
Yeah, I know them as sleeping
What do you call
policemen
them
as
where you're from? What, the little bumps in the road that are there to slow you down? You guys have massive freeways in the US. I bet you don't have car humps or speed bumps or sleeping policemen. But if you do, let me know. Just let me know.
Be
Pam says,
interesting.
don't worry, Joe. Just get Craig to spray a bit of green ink on top, and no one will notice the avocado. Thanks for that, Pam.
See, when you first
previous
said
there.
it, Joe, I actually thought you meant some of our ink, and I was thinking, we don't have an avocado green.
Maybe we should.
And I realised it was your food.
Yeah,
Could be a colour.
I reckon.
Maybe, yeah, possibly. Just FYI, anyway, that is just we don't know. It is a possibility. That's not a teaser.
This is how rumours start, Craig.
Exactly, I know. We say things like that, and that's how the rumours start. Look at this vellum as well. Isn't that just so elegant with that vellum? With this one here, so you can still do all of your embossing when it comes to the vellum as well. What I've also done is I've done exactly the same as I've done with the paper pad, but what I've done is I'm going to just fold that one over so that creates a bit of a wrap around our card. And I've already popped our adhesive into place.
Do you know if you use it the other way, it reminds me of like a regal tiara.
Yeah, it does. You could then even find ways to incorporate this. You know, with the crown that comes within the Best of British, you could even start to work your way around to incorporate
Nice
them.
one.
So popping that one on. There really is so many different ways and collections that you could be using this with. Such a good one to have. Really good.
Gorgeous. Loving this card. Molly says we have speed bumps on smaller roads. That is what they're called. Stephen Lee Guy says I've got the whole collection. I've made my favourite card so far with this. It's much better in the flesh than it comes across on screen. Oh, I'm glad you think so. We obviously only see it in the flesh. We're not seeing it on screen. So what I can tell you is it is absolutely gorgeous, and that's what all of you guys say about it as well. Stephen, if you've got some pictures of the things that you made still, would you do me a favour and email them to me? studio@craftscompanion.co.uk, because Stephen, I'd love to see some of the things that you've been making. We do bumps, humps and raised pedestrian crossings. That's what they're called, bumps, humps and raised pedestrian crossings.
That is a mouthful, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It sounds like a show or a song.
It does sound like a film, doesn't it?
It does.
Be a really boring
trains
film,
and
wouldn't
automobiles.
it? I think it might be, if it was a film, I have a feeling it would be a bit slow, Craig. Sorry about that.
Bit bumpy.
Bit bump. Yeah, a
Bit
bit slow.
bumpy.
Aisha says the vellum is so pretty. I'm always amazed by the beauty of the paper in person versus on camera. It's more exquisite. Oh, well, you're the second person to say that. I think vellum is very underrated, don't you, Craig?
Exactly. It really, really is. I think of it as one of those products, a bit like embossing folders and even stencils, that are completely underrated. But the look it can give you. You can even create your card, and then simply pop a layer of your vellum over the top, and that's just enough to finish it off. It can break down some of the imagery that you've got. If it's maybe something that's too bold, then your vellum allows you to just break down the colours slightly. What I'm going to do now is we've got these two little frames that I've already die cut. Now for this one, we do get some stamps, so I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use one of these frames, and I'm going to bring in the stamp set, and I'm going to go for Smile. I'm going to pop it onto my stamping platform, and then we can start to incorporate these ones into place. And then we're going to stamp. So Joe, this is your last day, isn't it, for a couple of days?
3 days off now.
Yeah. What have you got planned? Anything?
Yeah, not really much, to be honest, Craig. I'm going to do a bit of TV binging. I watched It's a Sin on Channel 4 over the last sort of few days, and it's incredible.
What's up?
It's a Sin. It's based in the 80s. Go and have a look at it. Google it. I don't want to get into too much detail. But it was so amazing, Craig. It's got Ollie Alexander from Years and Years in it, and an awesome cast of people that you recognise. And it's going to be on in the US soon as well, actually. And it's so good. It's only 5 parts, 45 minutes each, that I'm going to binge it in one go tomorrow again and watch it for a second time. So I'm going to do that. And then I'll be watching RuPaul's Drag Race tomorrow night. My friend Lee coming around for dinner, my bubble buddy. That's Thursday night. Friday, not much really, nothing planned Friday. Maybe a big walk on Saturday, get all nice and bundled up. It's meant to be snowing on Saturday, so I might do a big walk. I might walk along the canal from Manchester to Ashton as well. It's about a 2.5 hour walk in total there and back along the canal. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
That sounds good.
What are you going to do your weekend?
This weekend, well, for us, like everyone here, it's been mega busy the last couple of weeks, and with last weekend there being on at Craving Craft down in Peterborough, this weekend I have, dare I say it, don't let Kelly hear you, I've got the weekend off.
Wow.
I've got the weekend off.
Don't tell Kelly.
Don't tell Kelly, or I'll...
when we talk about Jenny and we talk about Kelly, Jenny is like big boss, head honcho here at Crafters TV. Yeah, if we do anything like naughty in a show, we're always like, oh, don't tell Jenny. And Kelly is like the superstar that deals with us all and lets us know where we're meant to be, doesn't she? And organises us and, sorts us out. We just couldn't do none of it. The whole place would fall down if it wasn't for Kelly, because no one would know where they were or what they're meant to be up to.
I won't lie, I should be more scared of Jenny than Kelly. I am more scared of Kelly than Jenny.
Oh, wow.
Just being honest, I will be. But
Jenny's going to appear at the window in a second. I can see it.
So that's going to be my plan, and I might do a little bit of crafting for me. So we're going to just chill out
lovely.
and just do a bit of crafting for me. So it's going to be a bit of fun. But here we go. So although I had some of these layers already cut out, it is a slightly easier advanced card. You've got the looks, you've got the layers, you've got all of that intricate floral ways around the actual frame. Bit of the flower forming, we will show you that just shortly as well in one of those little sentiments too. So really, really nice, and a nice simple card, but it could be used into many ways, like I say, wedding invites or any sort of invites like that.
Absolutely. What I'd love to be doing this weekend is getting a haircut, Craig. I can show you. I look like Boris Johnson again today. I look like I've brushed my hair with a helium balloon, don't I? Sally says, Craig, Joe has got marathon training planned. Not. Sally keeps calling me out because I've not started my marathon training yet. I've got a marathon coming up in September, Craig. I was actually planning on doing a little sort of beginning of couch to 5K tomorrow, so I'll let you know how you get on, Sally. Pam says, Joe, there used to be a great pub at the Rally Quays down on the canal. Have you started practicing for the Berlin Marathon yet? I see a theme in the questioning here. I haven't started this week, and Sarah was asking me today when we're going to go for a run together as well. So actually, Craig, I must go for my first run this week. Watch this space, people. I'll let you know. Right, I want to run through. There's a couple of different collections, smaller collections available in the show for you. So I've got a paper and vellum collection first, which includes a 6x6 paper pad, which is this one just here. It's absolutely gorgeous, really exquisite designs in here. You've got as well 48 single-sided sheets in here, 180 GSM, which is awesome. There is a bigger one, which is only available in the big collection. I'll share that with you in a moment. In this smaller bundle, you're also going to get the 6x6 vellum pad, and you're going to get the 12x12 vellum pad. I'm going to show you the 12x12 vellum pad. Definitely someone has had their mitts in this one. It's feeling a little light. You'll receive 24 sheets sheets. I definitely don't have 24 sheets here. Let me just show with you as well. The opacity on this is absolutely beautiful. Let me pick one of these up. I'll show you. Can you see how it's got a lovely sort of see-through element to it? And it's got a really, if you can tear it beautifully as well. I'm not going to tear it too much. And I teared it on the end, I teared it on the edge, people. Simmer down. £35 or $50 if you want to get your hands on that one right there. As a platinum member, £36 or $50 to $80. Now, if it's the metal dies that you want to go for, maybe you're just an out-and-out die cutter. Maybe plain papers are the way that you go. Maybe it's just the silhouettes, the shapes and forms that you like to create using your dies. We've got you covered there as well because we have got a collection of dies on this show for you as well. So we've also got, so firstly we've got Thinking of You, which is this one just here. We then also have Fanciful Floribunda, which I can never say. Always makes me think of Cowabunga and the Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
You've got that removable outside edge there. My S's and my sh's today are all over the place.
So I believe, I was
honestly,
told.
I'm going to get myself in a lot of trouble at some point. Filigree Foliage is the next one that we've got here. La la. I didn't do my vocal warm-ups. La 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 before the show, you see. Got traditional rose. We've also got the rose corny. Getting all of these, guys. It's not a choice. You've then got one of the edgeables here. Excuse me. Climbing rose. And then also, this is one you just used, Craig. Was it the Adorning lace? Was that one in the last demonstration there? Wonderful. And then you've got a rambling rose as well. Now, it's $16.91 or $22.91 is what you're saving. You're also going to get the Regal frame in there as well. Now, I don't have a board for it. I've got the top middle one there on the stills there, as you can see in that picture. The top one in the middle, it's like a lovely fancy frame sort of nesting dice element that you're going to get from there, which is gorgeous. Now we've got a embossing collection for you as well, an embossing and stamp collection actually. You can see here all of that gorgeous detail, and it goes really beautiful with that Adorning lace die that Craig just showed to you. You've then got this one here. Now this is your rose trellis, which is really gorgeous. You've then got this one. That's your ravishing rose that you've got there stamped, and your sentiments, happiness blooms is what you've got just there, which is awesome. £23 or $30 if you want to go for that one. If you want to get it as a Club Inspired Platinum member as well, it's $18.40 or $24. Then there's some individual elements for you too. Now, this is so fancy. The wax seal. Love, love, love this. It's an awesome, awesome product. We're going to see this in this show, Craig. Wax seal.
I think we might be able to do that.
What we'll have to do is try and track down a lighter.
We will do.
Do you know who I think's got one?
Who
Georgina.
smokes?
I think Georgina's got a lighter. Has she? Oh, I've outed her. I'm sorry. No, she loves candles, scented candles.
Scented candles.
Loves them. She loves scented candles. Now, moving on. Well, she does love scented candles. Well, 5 pieces. The MDF kit is what we're looking at. The wooden pieces. Just here. I'm a little so-and-so today, aren't I? These are brilliant. It's not often we bring you wooden pieces. You're going to get a 6th one just there as well. They are gorgeous. They are a consumable element. If you want to come back and order more of them on their own, they are only available individually or in that large collection. These are great as well if you want to use them in mixed media projects. I know we've got a mixed media show coming up here soon on Crafters TV. I heard a little rumour about it the other day. I don't know if that's an exclusive there, but if you want to gesso over these, or you want to, paste over them, or texture paste over them, any of those things, absolutely, you can do that and get great, great results. I've got the stamens next for you, which is these ones just here, and these are awesome because these are stamens and they are obviously colour matched perfectly to go with the whole collection. So it's going to work with the colour tones across the cardstock, across the paper, across absolutely everything for you. We've then got as well, sticking on the floral theme, we've got the flower forming foam. This is again perfectly colour matched again with all the tones in the paper pad. So that's a flower forming foam there, 9 sheets, but it also matches perfectly with the luxury cardstock, which is also only available individually at the moment too. So you can see the cardstock. I'll just give you the details of that there. It really is beautiful. It's got a very, very fine linen texture to it. You'll get 24 A4 sheets of this. 2, 4, 6, 8. So you've got 3 sheets of each colour there in that. $9.99 or $12.99. Now, the best way to get the best value is to go for absolutely all of it together. Now I know we just gave you discounts on the individual items, but you save a further £25 if you go for all of the individuals together with all of the smaller bundles. Now what you're going to get in here then too, which I think is the pièce de résistance of all of the elements to it, is the 12 by 12 paper pad. Now the only way to get this is in that big bundle. Details are there on your screen at the moment. 48 single-sided sheets there for you, so make sure you grab that and you get it in the big bundle. So 12 by 12 there. What you're going to get, of course, is absolutely everything. You're getting the entire bundle when you go for this configuration, which is awesome, because I can tell you that if you bought it all individually, what you should be looking at for this collection is £214 or $289. The today price is there on your screen. You can see it right now. That means everyone saves $64.78 or $87.38. If you are a Club Inspire Platinum member, you can get this today for £120 or $161.60, which is awesome. All of you will be getting some sort of discount because all of you have some status in the club, which is fantastic. The other great thing is that we're going to send this out to you totally free of charge. If you're ordering in this show, we will send this to you without any postage and packaging or any shipping and handling as well. I know, and there is a lot of it for us to ship out. $94.78 is what you're saving as a Club Inspire Platinum member in the UK, which is absolutely incredible value for money. It really, really is. Something else that I'm going to show you as well are the 3D textured embossing folders that are on the show today. These are gorgeous. We've had these on a few times recently. They are a fairly recent launch, but easy to see why we keep bringing them back, because they are absolutely fantastic. You've got here the Grande Butterfly is your first one. You've then got the Climbing Ivy. There is also the Peony Bouquet. You've then got the Vintage Scroll, as well as Lavish Leopard. Reminds me of Mel B, always. And you've finally got there the Gossamer Lace for you too. £32 if you are here in the UK. If you're across in the US, it's going to be $46 for you. Of course, Club Inspire Platinum members, $25.60 or $36.80 is your price on these. I believe you're going to share some inspiration with us on these next, Craig.
I am indeed. We're going to use the Lavishing Leopard print, but for me it reminds me a bit Lynch. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a bit of gilding wax. We're going to use the antique gold for this one. So I've got my embossing folder. It is our 3D embossing folder, so that incredible depth that you get from the imagery is just phenomenal. Now I've already die cut one of our ovals. So this was the second largest stitched edge oval that I've used, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into my folder. Now if we are using, actually, do you know what, I know you guys have already sold it out so quick, but do you know what, just to show you,
yeah,
if you
gone
do,
as a star buy, Craig.
Gone, isn't it?
Totally gone. It was a star buy of the week. We're going to do a star buy every week as well. So make sure you check the website every single Monday. It was an unbelievable deal, so no wonder it sold out so quick.
I know, I'm not surprised either, but I just wanted to show, even though it's a 3D embossing folder, if you've got your MIDI, you can still be using it. If you're using your Gemini or large Gemini, it is your plastic shim, and then it is your magnetic, and then also your plastic shim. But when it comes to your MIDI, you don't need anything. With your normal embossing folder, you'll use your plastic shim, but with your 3D embossing folder, you don't need anything. We're going to run that one through, we're going to turn that one, and that is all you need. No folders, no shim, no nothing. So let's move that one out the way. And then as I lift this one up, what you're going to see is, you'll kind of see that shadowing of the image very, very lightly, but I am going to come over in a moment with gilding wax, and this is really going to enhance the imagery. So you can just kind of see it popping through. So what I'm going to do now is let's take our gilding wax for this one, and I'm using the antique for this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it straight onto my glass mat, which you can do, or if you've got a craft sheet, you can be using that as well. And then wait until you see this, Joe. I just love this effect with gilding wax.
It really is gorgeous.
It really, really is, isn't it? And going over all of that raised images, or the raised areas, and the gilding wax, it works so well on any embossing folder, but I just think it lends itself just beautifully and perfectly to our 3D embossing folders, because what happens is you are getting that multitude of depth. I'm trying maybe what, 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 different levels of depth within this one here, and I'm picking it out very lightly with my finger. I'm going with the gilding wax and I'm working all the way round. But you can keep it very light, that I'm doing just now, I'm starting with. Always remember you can add, but you can't take away. So therefore I am just very lightly going over the top. But what I'm going to do is I'm not overly concerned about getting too much in the middle, because it's kind of going to be covered. But what I'm then going to do, it's something that we don't do quite a lot. What I'm doing is now I'm really going to lay down a lot of that gilding wax. And what I'm going to do is with this one here, by layering straight over the top, you're really getting this kind of copper effect, especially with it being the antique. So really laying that down. And it's something that we don't do a lot by really covering whatever we are doing with the gilding wax. Usually we go light, but I really wanted to show how even if you go full on, you get this bold coppery look, of course depending on what colour you're using. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there, and then with the gilding wax, what I am going to do as well, just a bit of kitchen roll damp cloth, I'm going to just buff it, give it a bit of a buff off. You can see buff off, buffing away.
Buffy the Gilding Wax Slayer.
But that's a good one. That's a good one. You're coming out with some crackers today, Joe. Loving them. Now, even that, from that angle above, look at that, Joe. Isn't that just phenomenal? And that is really going to town with the depth of wax that we've gone on to.
It doesn't look like cardstock, it looks like a piece of metal, craft metal, or a thin aluminium can. It's kind of got that feeling to it, hasn't it?
It really has. So you can see what we can do.
The aftermath, though.
What was that?
The aftermath there on your thing. You had to get a bit of sticker. I guess actually that's a good point. How would you clean the mat afterwards? Stick away work on something like that.
Yep. What we do is take in just our stick away adhesive cleaner.
Yep.
And give that a little bit of a spritz. Now with the gilding wax, you don't need to give it a bit of time to work its magic. You can go straight on, just with a bit of kitchen roll, a damp cloth, or I was waiting to say fibre optic. It's not a fibre optic cloth, it's a fibre, what do you call it?
Imagine if you could get
microfiber.
Imagine if you could get fibre optic cloths.
Could you imagine?
Jake looks really excited by the concept of a fibre optic cloth.
He is, isn't he?
He's so excited.
Jumping about.
He's just been out for that lighter, by the way, and got it for you. He's a good lad, isn't he, Jake?
He's a wee smasher, isn't he?
Jake is our floor manager here at Crafters TV, which is awesome. Astrid's letting me know that she grew up by the Manchester Ship Canal and she used to wave to the boats as they went past, which is fantastic. Whereabouts, Astrid? Whereabouts on the Manchester Ship Canal did you live? Please let me know. I am sailing close to the wind today, aren't I? I really am.
You completely took my breath away there. I actually thought you were really on that edge, skating on thin ice there.
I just need to not talk so much, which is difficult in this job, Craig. It really is. Craig says, are you maybe going to do a 5-minute crafty tip or hack this weekend, Craig? Sounds like a request to me. That was Katie on YouTube.
Maybe, because obviously I've been doing that as of late. I've not done it for what, about 2 weeks now?
Tell me about this, Craig. I wasn't aware of this.
What it is, Joe, it's just on Facebook and Instagram, but what we've ended up doing is we've actually brought it into also Wake Up Call with Craig, and it's just really, to me, or to us at Crafters Companion, quite straightforward tips or techniques that maybe sometimes you need help with or unsure. For instance, embossing with a stencil. So what I do at home is I just record just maybe like a 5-minute video showing you how you can actually emboss with a stencil, for example, and it's there for you to go back. And then what it just means is, although you can always go back and watch us on YouTube, it just means that you don't have to go back searching for that specific point in past shows. I've got it there on Facebook and Instagram. But as I say, we've then brought these little tips into Wake wake-up call each day as well. So keep your eyes peeled and just always let us know on the social if there's any like roughly about 5-minute hints or tips that you want to know. We've done embossing, we've foiled using a normal die, we've done plate configurations, we have done the difference between stamping with your stamping platform with the rocker block. I've showed you how you can prime your stamp. You know how sometimes if you get a new stamp and you stamp it and it gets a bit bubbly? I've showed how you can then prime that using your watermark or using your low-tack tape. So a number of ones that we could do. I can maybe record one over the weekend. Keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Sounds like you're going to do it just for Katie. Lots of you still choking away. It's Sonia. Rick Rosamond's messaged me, but actually it's Sonia Rosamond. It's snooze you lose y'all Sonia, because she's on Rick's phone this afternoon. She says, hey y'all, I am late on hubby's phone. Mine needs fixing. Oh, sorry to hear that. How's everyone doing? I'm doing good. Craig, you doing all right?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Awesome. She goes on to say, this is Sonia and hey Joe and Craig. So glad they are doing this collection. Yay, yay, yay. Love it. I've got another question for you in a minute when you've done this, Craig, as well. This is Creative Cravings and it is about you getting your questions in. We call it the Crafty Clinic, Craig, don't we, sometimes? Where you guys get free reign to ask us anything that you want. Within reason, about crafting, obviously. Anything that you're struggling with, everything maybe you're not nailing at the moment, and you think Craig might be able to help you out. Maybe it's something that you think is really obvious, but you don't know it, and you think it might be a bit of a silly question.
Yep.
You can ask us. You can ask us on Facebook, on the Crafters TV Facebook page. You can ask us on YouTube as well by searching for Crafters Companion. You could even email that question to the studio if you don't want to put it in either of the comments there, and we could do it anonymously. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
We could do like an anonymous Crafty Clinic. Crafters Anonymous, I love it. And if you can send the questions to the studio email address, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. That's a really lovely little card, Craig.
So there's many ways that you could take that. Of course, it's been a tag, Joe, but what about maybe little tags for any of your gifts if you wanted to? Or if you use many of the other layers, you could then start to incorporate it as frames or that, or even a bit of home decor, you could be doing that one. But a nice, fun little card using the, that one was the lavish leopard print.
Absolutely, and it is gorgeous. That's my favourite one, actually, out of all of them, that one. This one here is the Grande Butterfly that you've got, as you can see there. This one is the Climbing Ivy that you've got just here. This one is the Peony Bouquet, as you can see just there. This one is your Vintage Scroll. I love it. It's very, very... it reminds me, it's like Palace of Versailles is what I think about when I think about that. You've then got the leopard print, ooh, lovely, and the gossamer lace there as well, which is interesting because it's got a lot of texture underneath it, and you really see about how you get the different depths of dimension, the depths of texture on the different 3D folders as well. £32 or $46 if you'd like to go for them. They are available individually. They're on a 2 for £12 or $15 if you prefer to get them in that configuration. But there is 6 of them, so there'd be £45 individually, or on that multi-buy if you got them like that. So actually you've got a good saving there, over 20% off when you get them in that configuration. Craig showed us the gilding waxes a moment ago. I'd like to take you through the options that we have available on the show for you. You got the antique gold. You also have the Empire gold. This one just here, same price, same deal across all of them. You have the Renaissance, which is fantastic. That hasn't been in stock for a while, the Renaissance, and that one is the silver. Can't see it on there. Awesome. Make sure you grab those. They last forever, though, so make sure you grab them. And they're so versatile. If you own, I think, do you know what, Craig? Someone maybe that owns a lot of embossing folders and doesn't own any gilding wax, getting some gilding wax, you'd give them a completely new lease of life, wouldn't you, those embossing folders?
Of course you can, yeah. And then also think as well, maybe you've got some frames at home up on your wall, you just want to jazz up a bit or just give it a bit of a refresh. Bring the gilding wax, just add that round the corner of your frame or any of your upcycling that you're doing as well. And that is the Pebeo waxes. These are the kind of waxes that many will tend to use out in the industry when it comes to upcycling, as well as doing things like your home decor. So always worthwhile having within your crafty stash.
Fantastic. Chemistry in Biology says, Team Social, Crafters, I've had a question. This was the one, Craig, that I was talking about, the question I had coming up. I've noticed that sometimes during the demonstrations, Colau is used, other times a hot glue gun. What's the difference, please, and when do you use which one?
Right, really, it's speed. So if you want it done really, really quick, use your hot glue gun. If you've got a little bit of time that you want it to set, then use your Call-Out. I would always suggest use your Call-Out glue gel over your hot glue, because Call-Out glue gel will be robust and it will be strong and it will stay in place for a long time. Hot glue gun over time, and when I say over time, I mean months and years, can begin to just drop off. What I will say, without contradicting myself, when it comes to using your flower form and foam, use your hot glue, because when you're assembling the flowers, you want it to be quick. You don't have time to let the glue set, otherwise the flowers are just going to not so much wilt, but they're not going to come to shape as better as if you were to adhere it together with hot glue. So primarily, I would say use your Call-Out glue gel, but if you want to do it really, really quick, then use your hot glue.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for that, Craig. Hope that helps. Pam says, Joe, it looks like the rose garden foam matches the nitwits. I hope so. It does, actually. That's a point that Craig made a little earlier. Stephen says, he sent in some of his pictures, he says. So he says he made 3 of them. We'll show those in a little while, Stephen. Mary says, if your budget allows, I highly recommend getting the whole collection. You will not be disappointed. I love, love, love rose garden collection. La Quieta says, I have this collection. I love it so much. The colours are fabulous. Oh, Katie says, oh, Joe, don't make Craig call it the Lush set. Why can I not get Craig to call it the Lush set? Is there a backstory I don't know about here, Craig?
Wake up call. I may have admitted that, do you know what? I hate that word.
Lush?
Yes.
Do you hate, what about, there's a whole shop of it, isn't there?
I know, that's what Adam was saying to me this morning. I think it's more in the context. I can walk past that shop and look at it and just...
Do you go in?
Ignore it. No.
Oh, Craig, you should. Do you know what, Craig? I'm going to do this weekend. Shops are closed, aren't they?
I know, they're closed.
I was going to go in and get you a bath bomb this weekend, is what I was going to say. You should try it. Because, Craig, I'm not a bath person. I had my first bath the other week. The day we went back into full lockdown, needed a zen moment, Craig. I lit candles, I put a chill playlist on, I poured a glass of wine, I ran a bath with a bath bomb, and, Craig, I don't use this word lightly, it changed my life.
Did it?
And I'm converted. I was actually thinking about, I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to take another one of those bath bombs and I'm going to have a bath this evening. I'm starting to look forward to it. I'll bring you a couple in.
Okay.
If you just reserve judgment, try them, see how you feel. But I feel like as a Yankee Candle guy, you're going to be a Lush bath bomb kind of guy as well.
Okay.
We'll watch this space. We'll report back. Aisha Dennison says, waiting on my gilding wax to arrive. Picked up the antique gold and silver. Can't wait to try it out. Kate says, can we get the stick away in the US? I know some of those we can't. Stick away is not on the UK website for us to dispatch to the US. I do think sometimes they had it on HSN, and I know that there was maybe some chatter about it going back to HSN again. I think there is a third-party retailer in the US that does sell it on our behalf. So just have a little search online. You can't buy it directly from us, but I believe it is available somewhere. I'll get that checked for you if I can. Tall Chicky says, I've got all of these folders. Cindy's saying, hi, Craig and Joe. Joe, I have a question. I bought the feathers and foliage die from HSN. I was wondering whether Craig can demo this die set someday. Feathers and foliage? What's that from? Is it from this set? Cindy, let me know if it's from this collection or not. If it's not from this collection, let me know which collection it's from and we'll see what we can do. Katie says, I can't believe I have all those, but until right now, been unsure how to use them for this. So inspired today. Thank you very much, Craig. Eve says on YouTube, Craig, would you ever use pattern papers as a background when matting as the base or only dark plain colours? Is there a rule?
Nope, I would at times, yeah. It's not something you'll see me doing a lot, but I'm just looking on our site for feather and foliage there. I'm sure it's Peacock Collection. I think it's next week I've got a Peacock Collection, so I'll keep a note of that one, see what we can do with that one. But pattern papers, absolutely you can use your pattern papers as a matte layer. You don't have to use it as that core colour for the layers. Let's just very, very quickly, I don't want to digress, Joe, but for instance, if I take our pattern paper, for instance, there's nothing stopping you. I would tend to look for a bolder colour or a pattern that's got boldness in it. So I would then maybe, actually, I would maybe use this one. So if I was going to maybe matte and layer with a light red or maybe an ivory or even an orangey tone, you can use this kind of colour or background instead. Maybe if you want to go for a lighter tone, you can be using this one. So absolutely, you can use a pattern paper as your mattes and layers. You don't have to use the full bold colours. Have fun. There's no rule whatsoever. There's no rule in crafting. You know, we give you ideas and inspiration. You can copy them exactly as we do them, or just throw your own spin on them. It's up to you.
Fantastic, absolutely love that. If you want to use them, then even more options. And I guess as well, definitely gut them, Craig, I'd say, wouldn't you? If you were going to use pattern papers, you wouldn't use the whole paper, you'd take the middle out, I'm thinking.
Yeah, sorry,
he was too busy. Georgina called something lush and he had an emotional reaction to it, didn't you, Craig? Right. I was saying, if you were using pattern papers, would you gut them?
I would.
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
I would,
but we found a nicer word for it the other day. Hollow them out, we decided, me and Debbie Robinson were going to call it.
Oh, see, that's just my fault. No, see, I don't mind gutting.
Oh, I
know. Yeah. Well, you say lush and I'm going to say gutting.
Okay, gutting.
Gutting is lush.
I love how Craig says it. It sounds a bit more aggressive when I say it, gutting.
Gutting.
Yeah, gutting. Gutting's better. Aisha says, Craig, using the embossing folder with an S in dies is something I will have to do. Using them in conjunction really makes a lot of sense, especially when you have a flower or butterfly that you would like to stand out. Another lesson learned, which is fantastic. And now, of course, in this show, we are talking, it is all about that Sarah signature Rose Garden collection. You are getting absolutely so much in here. It is a whole collection for you. Absolutely everything is in there. You've got all your metal dies. So you've got rambling roses, adorning lace, climbing rose, rose corner, regal frames, traditional rose, filigree foliage, fanciful floribunda. I'll get there today. Come on, Joe. You've got the paper pads in there, the 6x6 and the 12x12. You're also then going to get your stamp sets. You've got happiness blooms, ravishing rose. You've got embossing folders, rose trellis, grande lace. You've got those wooden frames that I showed you in there as well. Then you've got the luxury card pack, the flower forming foam, the stamens, the wax seal kit, and the 2 vellum pads as well. There's so much in that collection there for you. It's absolutely jam-packed full. The value's incredible. Platinum members, £120 or £161.60. We're going to send it out to each and every one of you totally free of charge, which is absolutely awesome. Right, are you ready? Stop. Demo time.
Demo time.
That's what it's going to be.
Let's do that. Tell you what we'll do as well, just quickly. See these wooden shapes you were on about, Joe? You can absolutely colour them with many of your different colour mediums.
With alcohol markers?
Of course you can.
Ah.
So I've taken I've taken a red one, which happens to be ruby in this case. But you can colour them. Let's even go on this one, because you've got the finer detail. Now, keeping in mind what will happen, because it's the wooden, it is going to soak up the ink. So if you're going to use a lighter colour, you may have to go over it a second time. But you can see here, this one here with the depth of the ruby red, you can go over it, no problem whatsoever.
I've got that song in my head now.
What's that one?
Ruby, ruby, ruby,
ruby. Yeah. Now, what you could do is use your chisel end. I don't know why, I do prefer to use my bullet nib for doing this end. But if you do want to do it a bit quicker, you can use the chisel end, and you're going to be able to obviously get it done a bit quicker. But yeah, see, now I'm thinking of that song, Joe.
Could you use ink pads to cover these? Could you put the pigment ink pads out on this glass mat and then pick it up somehow and put it on there?
You can do.
Oh, awesome.
You could even, let's go, Georgina's got it in one. You can go direct.
Oh, so wow.
There's colouring it with the classic pens. Could be any of your alcohol markers. You can still use colour from your aqua pens or your sparkle. That's really going to soak it up a lot quicker, so you may need to add an additional colour. But look how well that looks. What you can even do, I tell you what, now you can, if I got a pigment here, no, but I do have our translucent clear. So what you could do, if you wanted to, let's take this one off, and you can either go direct or you can go onto your glass mat. Let's do it this way. And before we start, I've got some white. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to just press that in.
Oh, Craig, is this going where I think it's going?
Maybe. Should we do it?
Oh,
Should we
Craig,
do it?
Should you do it?
Should we?
Absolutely.
Should we, sir? Should we? Should we do it?
We really should do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's going to look proper lush when that's done. Craig's face. He is. Sorry, you've told me. Who was it? Was it Katie that started this? I'm sorry, Katie, but you just shouldn't have told me for Craig's sake.
Shouldn't.
It's something I don't say. It's not in my vocabulary, to be honest, Craig. So you're all right. Bud. What words do you love? Was like words that really please me, Craig. Cathartic is one of them. Cathartic, I love. Conflating is another one. Or conflate or conflating is another one. What words do you love? Let's have a bit of word porn going on in the comments today. Yeah, I love it. There's a guy, you know the guy that first dates, Craig?
Yeah.
No, not first dates. Celebs go dating.
Yeah.
Do you remember the very well-spoken guy that used to be like the receptionist on that show?
Oh, no, I've never watched
his name. Tom something. He's on Instagram. He's very well-spoken. He has a word of the day every day. And it's really, really inspiring because you learn lots of new words, but they're words that are like quite fun to say. So cathartic's mine for today. Let me know what your fancy words are.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think of what
Charlotte's going to absolutely nail it here. I sense it, you know. I sense that she's going to nail it. Yeah, I think Charlotte's got a great vocab. I can just feel it. This embossing is going to look awesome, Craig.
Going to look really, really
I've never
smart.
seen wood embossed before.
Yep, you can absolutely do that. And I've just used our white embossing powder with our translucent clear. But equally, you could use one of our pigment ink pads and use a clear embossing powder. But all that I'm doing is I'm making sure this is heated up to what I need it to be, as hot as it'll go. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to go over. And then as it melts, as I would do with cardstock when embossing on cardstock, we're going to let that go. Now I would let that cool for a moment or two, but then you'll be able to see if we then look at
Andrea says synergy, Craig. We have synergy, Craig, you know? I think that's something we have. We have good chemistry and we have good synergy.
We do, yeah.
We do indeed. Flabbergasted is Susie T's. That is a great one. I love to say my flabber is gasted.
You do like
I enjoy
to say
saying
that, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. Sam likes the word comfort.
Comfort.
It's a nice word to say.
It is.
Comfort. I like a bit of southern comfort myself.
Yeah, bet you do. Yeah, you'll like that one. I like a bit of gin. But yeah.
Gin. I might have a cheeky vodka tonight when I get in.
I might have one tomorrow, Friday.
Delicious.
Rightio. Can you see there?
Do you know what this show feels like? We're just at home in your craft room, Craig, and we're just, you know, two mates having a nice time.
That's what it's like.
And everyone, and our other mates are texting us on the iPad. That's just what it feels like. I love it. I think it's such a lovely environment here at Crafty TV.
Look at that. So simply by doing your heat embossing.
So that was a clear Versamark you used, was it?
So that was
clear,
that was it.
Watermark.
So that was a clear watermark.
Could you have, if you wanted to colour it then, could you have used a coloured pigment ink pad and a clear embossing? Would that solution work on this wood as well?
Absolutely. So the two ways that you could do it is the translucent clear, and if you have any of your coloured embossing powders. The only thing with that is there is many out there, but you're still limited within the range. So alternatively, what you could do is exactly what you've just said, Joe. You can use one of your coloured pigment ink pads and then go over the top with a clear embossing powder, and you're going to get that colour to come through. So absolutely, you can colour them with many of your different mediums. You can colour them as well. Let's go in with the antique again. Could be any colour, but then you can go over and you can add a bit more of a rustic tone to that wood when it comes to your chipboard or your wood effects. So absolutely, you don't need to keep them as they are. You can colour them if you want. You can change them whichever way that you like, but you can colour them with your alcohols. You can do it with your water-based as well, things like your sparkle. You might just need to give that an extra bit of a coat in, but why not do heat embossing as well? That really changes the look, as you can see.
Awesome. That looks fantastic. Really love that. They are available individually as well as in that big collection. Georgina's favourite word at the moment is ostentatious. I must admit, Georgina, I don't know what it means. I do know it, and I think I would know how to use it, but I don't know. I would know when to use it. So people refer to a peacock as ostentatious. Designed to impress, a bit showy-offy. Sally's, I don't know Sally's, what it means. Infinitesimal. I'm really butchered that, Sally. I don't know how to say it. Infinitesimal. What does it mean, Sally? Please get back in touch and let me know. The funny thing I say all the time is, good grief, Marilyn says, and it must be from watching Charlie Brown and Peanuts grow up. It's extremely small, infinitesimal.
So that's Kelly then? So I can start calling Kelly that?
Kelly, bless her, she is. Gosh, there's some big words coming in, Craig. I don't know what I started here. Facetious. Chemistry in biology says she loves that as a word. Absolutely. Rachel, who is our social media superstar today, says hers is defenestration. Defenestration. Rachel, I'm afraid, again, you're going to need me. You're going to know what they mean. Do you know what? Let's keep this on. I'm liking this as a topic of discussion, Craig. But what I'm going to need is I'm going to need your words, guys, and then I'm going to need the meaning. I'm going to need the meaning afterwards as well, because I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid, and I ended up being a TV presenter. So that tells you a lot about my intellect, Craig.
And you're a chef, though.
I was a chef as well. I know. Not really the most intellectual of career paths, to be honest. I just have to stand here with you guys and sell all of these gorgeous products and read your comments out. It's a quite straightforward job.
But we can do it without you, though.
Not intellectual, Craig, at all.
You need to steer the ship for us.
Let's not get back to talking about ships. That could end badly. So many good tips watching the show, says Mary Knoll. So thank you for that. Should we get back on track? I feel like we've swayed from the path. Georgina's going to be... you want to see the discovery kits? Awesome. Fantastic. Right. Have you got the discovery kits over there, Craig, as well? Or have I got them? Now, this one here.
Yes,
let me tell you this. So what you've got? You got them as well?
I've got two here.
Two here, cool. I've got a concept design one just here for you firstly. Oh, sorry. And what you've got in here, now the great thing about this, I used the watercolour one of these quite recently. I did, as part of the New Year, New Craft campaign, I did some watercolouring with one of these. And I'll tell you what, if I can do this, anyone can do it. And they're all designed for the absolute beginner, right through to someone that maybe is a little bit accomplished that wants to broaden their horizons when it comes to colouring. Because what you've got is a renowned designer, Cameron Backus, has put this one together. This would be for anyone that is wanting to get into product design, wants to get into architecture or fashion design, something like that. And he takes you through all you need to know. There's some fantastic worksheets in here for you and a great explanation of everything that you're going to do. But you've actually got 5 classic markers and an art liner in here, as well as your marker paper, 6 sheets of marker paper. And he's going to talk you through all the techniques that you need to do in order to make these. This reminds me of Kinky Boots, the musical. You've got these ones just here. Also, this one. Did Rachel? Oh, Rachel Gillam, who is our social media superstar, actually did these.
Did she?
Rachel, these are fantastic, may I say so. Yes, she did that one. Yes, she did all of them. Rachel, I'm very, very impressed. I think you could be a fashion designer, Rachel. Yeah. And look at that one as well. Loving that handbag. Absolutely fantastic. Rachel, let me know, how easy was this to do, following the instructions in the booklet? Was it quite easy to put together? Whilst I've got you there, I might as well ask you, hadn't I? So I've also got as well, I'm sorry, I'm really leaning on Rachel today, aren't I? Rachel's thinking, gosh, I'm really being brought into the show a lot today. I am sorry, Rachel. We've got the blended mandalas. Now, what I would say to you is if you want some more inspiration on blended mandalas, we actually had Baz Furnell, the man himself, in the studio for a Colour Me Happy. He's a prison officer. He is literally as big as a house. He is the biggest man I've ever seen, but an absolute gentle giant. He's a lovely guy. You'll be able to go back and watch back that Colour Me Happy once you've got there. And he actually talks through this blended mandala discovery kit himself, so you can see him talk about it. And look at what you can do. These are flat, guys, as well. I know someone said to me recently, oh, the mandalas, are they like decoupaged and layered up? No, that is it. They are just flat, as you can see. Right there. Rachel says, thanks, Joe. They were easy to put together, I think. So you can see there the mandalas, and then also this one just here. These are the things that you're going to learn how to create. I think it's a really, really epic a really epic thing to do. Rachel as well, social media superstar, she says the discovery kits are loads of great fun, so do give them a go. I'll show you Rachel's again. I'm so impressed, Rachel. Let me show you the ones that Rachel did. Look at these. I love this one as well. Absolutely fabulous. And that cake, a wedding cake, Craig, with macarons around the bottom. I mean, come on. That is a fabulous idea. Whichever one you're going for, they're equally brilliant. They are great to have as gifts as well. How about, Craig, because we are back on lockdown, and I hate to say it, it doesn't really look like it's going to be easing up for a little while, does it? It kind of looks like it's going to be ongoing for at least the next 4 to 6 weeks, maybe, before we have any easing. Yeah, it's not a lot's going to change. Do you know someone that is in the house and has got a lot of time on their hands? Could they benefit from one of those discovery kits? If you think so, at that price, we could send the product to them, we could send the invoice to you. The other thing is, all the instructions are in there, and it's really cathartic, got it in, Craig, because it's all to do with, right, I did a little bit of research when I took one home the other day. It's all about repetitive motion. So that is why things like colouring, that's a repetitive motion, or knitting, or crochet, or any of those things are really good for mindfulness. So it might be a really nice little care package to have sent to someone if you're in a particularly caring mood. £9.59 or £12.76. You can use your Club Inspire discount as well. If you're new to us, or you don't know all the details about the fabulous club that is Club Inspire, it's Sarah to take you through them.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
I think this week me and Craig have both been a little bit tired. We're both having a lovely time. Don't get me wrong, but we've just been a little bit maybe not quite on the button, have we, Craig? And it's led to some absolutely corking bloopers through the week and some very funny conversations between the two of us. Anne says, defenestration, well, that means to throw out of the window, as in the defenestration of Prague. I still don't know what it means. I'm sorry, Anne. I understand all the words. And I understand them, but I still don't get it. Capacious is my new word, thanks to Leanne, says Andrea. A beautiful technique. I'm going to try that on mine, says Stacey, talking about the wooden pieces there. Pandacraft says, my dad used to lose a lot of big words when we were kids. We didn't understand the word, but because of the tone, we knew exactly what it meant, I bet. Heidi says, Baz was an amazing teacher. Would love to see him teach again. Do you know what? We've got like an antique sort of sideboard that's all set up ready for a beautiful colouring demonstration. So maybe that will happen at some point in the future. Yeah, I don't think you've seen that bit of the set yet. It's exciting. There's still bits of the studio you're yet to see, maybe. Katie says, a very, very hard sentence to say is, I will not add it to the cart. Actually, it's hard not to, isn't it, Katie, when the deals are this amazing. Don't forget, how did we go? Have we got those pictures ready to show? Awesome. Shall we have a little look-see? Do you mind if are they Stevens? Stephen and Mary, how lovely. Stephen Lee sent these ones in, Craig. Oh, I
look.
love the flowers there.
That is absolutely gorgeous. I love that colour tones, especially with having that blue. Not something we see a lot in collections is blues, but we've got that and it really looks nice.
Another one from Stephen, I believe, is that one there.
Oh,
I love it with the edgeable.
That's a box for the card that you made. Oh. That's the card inside with the edgeable, as you said. How lovely does that look?
That's brilliant. Really awesome. Please keep sending your pictures in to us. We'd love to see them. Studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. Right, Craig, what will you be sharing with us next? Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm taking you through the collection again. Sorry. Can you tell it's that Fake Friday feeling? Tell it's that Fake Friday feeling.
It's definitely Fake Friday. So I'm not going to come in tomorrow and you're going to appear. Today is definitely your last day.
My last day
for 3 days.
You'll be pleased to know you and the people of Crafties TV get a 3-day break from me. I want to go through the vellum pad that you've got available in this collection because the 12 by 12 it is absolutely gorgeous. You've got 150 GSM. I love it. See how there? Look, it looks really bold, doesn't it? Then when you take it away, look how different it looks. What I'm thinking, Craig, is maybe you could take 2 layers together and you could fussy cut them and lay 2 layers over. Look, and it looks loads more bolder, doesn't it, rather than when it's away. See what I mean?
Really does.
Gorgeous.
Really does.
12 by 12 vellum pad is in there. 6 by 6 vellum pad's in there as well. 6 by 6 paper pad. Oh yeah, that's going to come your way in this smaller collection as well. If you want to go for this, I'll just change those details for you. So this is that collection there. As you can see, you get 12 by 12 vellum pad, 6 by 6 vellum pad, and then also your paper pad in there as well, which is awesome. There is also another smaller collection for you as well. We've got this one just here. It's the metal die collection. Now in here, you've got Thinking of You, which is fantastic. So a lovely sentiment, isn't it, Thinking of You? I think Just Because cards are really awesome and very apt at the moment. Fanciful Floribunda. You've got filigree foliage. Honestly, what is wrong with me? You've got Traditional Rose as well. And this is going to be, is this one of the flower forming dies, Craig?
It is, Joe. Yeah.
Can you use it for paper as well?
You absolutely can.
Brilliant. A lovely corner there. Would love to see that paper pieced rose corner. You've got Climbing Rose as well. This one is a lovely edgeable, so you can do all your different edgeable designs with that. You've got Adorning Lace, and you've also got Rambling Rose. Love this. It's lovely to paste through and spritz through that. And there's also Regal Frame as well in there. Let me just grab Regal Frame because I saw it just here a minute ago. There you are. That's Regal Frame. That's what that's going to look like as well. So you're going to get that one included in there as well. Right, we have got a stamping and embossing collection for you on the show as well. Now, let me just grab that. So this is your stamping and embossing collection. So you're going to get this one just here. This is your Grande Lace. You've also got the Rose Trellis. There's the Ravishing Rose. And you've got Happiness Blooms as well. They are the 4 that you're going to get into that collection just there. Then there's also some individual items that are not in either any of the smaller collections. They are, of course, in the big collection, but they are available individually as well. So I'm going to give you the individual details for these, which is fantastic. You've got the wax seal kit, which is fantastic. You've also got this, which is those wooden elements that you just saw Craig using a second ago. You've got the stamens here as well. They're going, those stamens are going to go perfectly with your flower forming foam, which is here. 3 sheets of each of those 3 colours, 9 sheets total. And you've got the luxury card stock as well, which is this one just here. Again, a great deal on that one for you. All of that. Now, if you want all of that together, plus the 12 by 12 paper pad. Let me bring that paper pad in because the only way that you can get hold of the 12 by 12 paper pad is in this collection, to let you know. So you can see here exactly what you've got. If you want to get this one in the big collection, you'll get it in here. You've also got a $29.95 extra saving, or $39.79 extra saving compared to buying the individual items and bundles that I just shared with you. Of course, you get the best saving. Everyone saves 64.78 or 87.38. In fact, no one saves that amount because you're all going to get a little bit more off than that in the club. Platinum members can get it for £120 or $161.60. Also, if you're going for it in the show, that means that we're going to send it to you totally free of charge, which is fantastic. Our Club Inspired Platinum members in the UK save almost £95. Keep getting your questions in. I'd love to know what your favourite words are as well. Keep getting those into me. Mary Pat says, this is lovely, Craig. She says, I'm thoroughly enjoying all the endorphins from this chat. Thanks, everyone. That's a lovely thing to say, isn't it?
That's really good.
What's up next?
I thought what we'll do is we'll use possibly one of my favourites from the collection, and that's the Ramblin' Rose. And this is the one where what it actually does is it cuts into your cardstock. Now, of course, you can cut it out yourself by trimming afterwards with the guillotine, but I thought what we'll do is we'll make a dimensional card, but without adding foam pads or glue gel. So what we're going to make with this one, what you would need to do is use a box to give it to. But I've popped over onto my large Gemini, and what I'm going to do though is, because I'm only cutting a small panel, what I can do is use my Gemini Junior plates. So I've got my base cutting plate. What I'm also going to do is, if I can find my metal shim, which is here. Now, when it comes to the Gemini, as you know, Joe, the metal shim really isn't essential all the time, but just to make sure I get every single bit of detailed die cut, because you can see how small some of these are. I am going to add my metal shim in. So we've got our base cutting plate and metal shim, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my die into place, and because this has got no outside cutting edge, this is where it's going to stay in place. So what I can do is get that as centered as I can, and I'm going to secure it. And what I'm going to do is, so that I avoid tearing any of that tape, I'm going to pop my low tack tape on, and then I'm going to push it just into a couple of these wee die cut aperture parts. That's going to hold the die in place, and then it just means that that's what the tape's sticking to. So once we take it away, all these little bits are going to pop out, so it's not going to matter. Plastic, magnetic, and then top cutting plate. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to pop that in sideways with the Gemini. And the size of this die, depending obviously the size of cardstock you're cutting, it's going to go through your junior, and it's even going to go through your midi as well. So you don't need to worry whatsoever when it comes to what machine you're using.
Do you need to worry about that clunking noise, Craig, or is that completely normal? I call it the clunk of confidence.
Clunk, yeah. You'll tend to find that sometimes happens when you're using your junior plates with your large Gemini. It's just to do with the angle that it's going in. What I mean by that is going in straight, but because the way that it comes with the rollers, the rollers are actually hitting the end of the junior plates sooner than it would hit the A4 plates, so you get that bit of a clunk, but it's nothing to worry about. Then what I'm going to do is let's bring in our tool, and then we're going to use our mat as well, and we're going to go all over, and we've got all these little bits. If you like to do your stained glass window effects, Joe, with acetate and your pens, you know, your alcohol pens, this would be a great one to use that for. Or you said using your stencil paste or spritzing through them, use them as well. Other thing that you could do is, if you get 2 bits of cardstock, exactly the same size, die cut this in each of the cardstocks, stick them together using your stick and spray. That's going to obviously make it really quite thick, and then you've got your own stencil, or you've got your own stencil that you can emboss with, so you can then get that embossed detail as well as the die cut. So there really is many different ways that you can use the dies, not obviously just this background die, but many other ones that you've got. But what we can do is let's just poke a few of these last little bits out. You can see they've all die cut. You just need to give a couple of them a helping hand, and then what we can do is we can then move on. What I will do actually, I'll tell you the size of this card for anyone that's wanting to know. I've cut this to 8 1/4 by 7 inches. So what I've also done is I've scored an inch at each side, and then that's going to give us our bit of our tabs on each side. So let me just very, very quickly, Joe, just take these little bits out just to finish this bit off.
Fantastic. Lots of people still chatting away in the comments, which we love, Craig. My favourite word lately is shipped, says Anne. Oh, that's a good word if you've got an order in. I love this one from Melanie. She says, magnum opus is my favourite term. Magnum opus. Any idea what that might mean, Craig?
I don't know. It sounds like something from Harry Potter.
It does, doesn't it?
Like a spell
It's
or
a
something?
fantastic word, actually, and it's something that I'll try and use. It's a great term. It means a work of art, music, or literature that is regarded as the most important or best work that an artist, composer, or writer has produced.
Really?
It was it's a noun, their magnum opus.
Uh-huh.
How about this? Do you think this show will be our magnum opus? I don't think it will somehow.
No, I don't think so.
I think we'll have done better.
I think we would have done a lot better.
Yeah, it's not our magnum opus. When was our magnum opus? Maybe we'll never know.
Can't actually even remember what you said it is, to be honest with you.
It's an artist, a work of art, music or literature that is regarded as the most important or best work that an artist, composer or writer has produced. Charlotte, I still haven't had a word from you yet. You just don't have one. And that really surprises me, Charlotte. Sorry, I feel sorry for putting you on the spot. Margaret says, what is it? Why is it some of the demonstrators use the cut dies facing up and some use the cut dies facing down? We do get this question a lot, don't we, Craig? And I must admit, if the book tells you to do it one way and you see people on the TV doing it another way, I can understand why some people do find it confusing.
And you know what I can do to save you a bit of time on that? Go back to yesterday. We watch Wake Up Call with Craig, and that's exactly what I done in the 5-minute hints and tips, as I explained the difference as to why some of us cut in, some of us cut away. So best way to do it without me having to rush the spiel. After the end of this one, go back and watch Wake Up Call with Craig from yesterday, and I explain exactly why some of us do that and some of us don't.
Is it to do with it being
Just to do
able
with
to see it on
positioning.
TV, basically, yeah?
Or not even that, just positioning so we can see
Okay.
where we're cutting.
Awesome. Well, there you go, Kelly. Sorry, who was it that asked that? Margaret. You didn't really get an answer, but you got the ability to find it, which is always good. Kelly says, your magnum opus is yet to be. I feel it. Maybe. I guess so. So I guess it's like a life's work that it has to be judged on. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
When do you think your magnum opus was, Charlotte? Do you think you've had it yet, or do you think it's yet to come? She doesn't know. She's unsure. I don't think she wants to... She thinks it may be in the future. She doesn't want to... You don't want to offend us? She doesn't want to have already peaked, she says. There you go. Windstars is on crafting along with Craig with my CC floral decoupage box. It is beautiful and I am really enjoying myself. Well, that's important. I think it's as important now more than ever to do something that you enjoy, Windstar. So the fact that you're having a beautiful time, that pleases me no end.
Imagine, you know, at such a young age, if we've peaked already, when we've got all of the years and years and years ahead of us.
I feel like at 34, 35, maybe looks-wise, I've already peaked, you know? I feel like my best years are behind me, my hairline's going back, I'm a bit larger than I used to be. I feel like the best years looks-wise are beyond me, but I feel like the best years for everything else are still yet to come, Craig.
I think so. Hopefully, anyway.
And I think we're lucky as guys, I think... I'm just digging myself a hole, Craig. I'm just going to stop there. I was going to say how guys seem to get more, as they get older... Sometimes older, I feel like, and I do feel like this is a societal problem. As guys get older, they are held, looks-wise, maybe in higher regard than they are sometimes when they're younger. That is the most PC way I can say it. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
So we get, like, as guys, they say guys get better looking as they get older. But the same isn't often said about women, which I think is wrong. I think women of all age are absolutely beautiful. I think some of the most beautiful women I know are in their 70s and 80s. You look at Jane Fonda, for instance, and Cher, and awesome, iconic women that are absolutely... And who, sorry?
Davina McCall.
Davina McCall. Absolutely. To that end, how old is Davina McCall? Is she in her 50s?
It must be early 50s.
Early 50s, absolutely. I think there are women out there that are trailblazing and are redefining what it means to be women in your 70s and 80s. And the people I think about when I think about that are people like, you know, Barbara Streisand and Cher, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlinson is another one as well that springs to mind. Shirley Bassey, Lulu, all of these older women that I think look amazing. So I think it's about time we gave a little bit more love to the older women, not just the older guys. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm off.
I was actually going to say what Georgina just said. Maybe not exactly.
I didn't hear what Georgina said.
You know, if you had that money, then you'd probably look good at that age.
I think you have to work at it. I do think as well that...
You don't need to work at it. If you've got the money, it's done for you.
No, you have to do the work, Craig. You have to, be fit and
to
healthy.
do the work to earn the money to pay for it.
I think a lot of this is all about outlook and positive outlook and being positive and having good energy.
I'm not digging it. If you've got the money, go for it. Absolutely. If you've got the money.
I don't think Jane Fonda's had lots of work done.
Rubbish.
Really? Has she had
Rubbish.
lots of work done? Okay. All right, I'll take it back. Fred says, nice save, Joe. I know. It was a good save, wasn't it? Thank you for that. But I do genuinely feel like that. I do feel like sometimes men, as they get older, get an easier ride than women, generally, across all aspects of society. Gosh, I didn't realise we were going to get so deep, Craig, at 5:15 on a Wednesday. Let's lighten the tone. What are we doing? We have got, of course, the Rose Garden collection. So that was the flower-forming foam dye that you used there, Craig. But you haven't used it with flower-forming foam.
I've not. I've used it to create what I am away to create. This little, well, it's not going to be little. It's going to be quite a substantial flower. What I'm doing is this centre one, because within the traditional rose, you've got your 4 dyes. What you're able to do with the flower forming is exactly that, create your rose. But what I'm also doing is I'm using my pattern paper that if you're going for the bundle, you'll get the 12 by 12 one, although you can still do this with the 6 by 6. What I've done is I've taken that smallest one, which is this one here, and what I'm doing is I've inked each of them with a bit of Chinese red, and all that I'm doing with this centre one is I'm kind of just pulling it together to make a little bit of a centre point. I'm not being neat, I'm not being overly precise, because you don't need to be, because what we're going to do is we're going to build up the flower. And what I'd also done a moment ago, you'll have seen me doing it, but using, this is actually our sponge mat from our die tool, and then what I've done is I've taken one of our ball tools, and just with one of the ends, what I'm doing is I've just given that little bit of shape, and we're going to go all the way round. And then what I'm going to do is done the same with the other ones. So for this one, because it's constructing a flower, I'm going to use my glue gel for this one. This is where, alternatively, you could have used your hot glue if you wanted to, when we were talking about that earlier on. But by using the Collal glue, you know that this is then going to be, this is going to stay in place, this is going to be so robust for years and years and years to come. Whereas potentially there is a chance that with your hot glue that it could fall apart after a wee while. And when I say a wee while, I do mean, a couple of years. I don't mean like a couple of weeks or months, but you've got that option to pop them in. And then what I'm going to do is if I pop that within the middle, then what I would do as well is once this would dry, I would start to shape it even more, and I'm going to pull all these up together, even these centre ones. If I pull these ones up, let it dry. I'm going to show you this one that I'd done beforehand, and I went round the edges a little bit more heavy-handed with the Chinese red, but you can see how you can absolutely create flowers using the pattern papers. You don't just have to use the flower forming foam. So if I pop these ones out the way, let's bring in our card blank. Now this card blank I've made myself using our white smooth stamping card. So it's 5.5 inches by 7, so just over that 5 by 7 mark, 5.5 inches by 7. And then we're going to bring in a piece of pattern paper. So I'm going to use my tape runner for this one. Let's go all the way round, and we can pop this one into place here. I'm not going to do any mat and layer for this one, Joe, because what we're actually going to do is cover it
I quite like the frame as well that you've left around the outside. I mean, you're going to cover it over, but actually as a different option, a different card, rather than having the pattern paper covering the whole card, trimming it up a little bit short. It's like, you have a picture framed and you have the border put around the outside. What's it called? The mount. It almost looks like it's mounted the pattern paper.
It does.
It's like a very frugal mat and layer.
And this is why I say, even if you do mats and layers, Joe, don't be afraid to leave some white space. Some people get scared. They think you have to cover the full card blank. You don't. And prime example with that is with one of the demos tomorrow morning on Wake Up Call. I'm going to demo a card using one of the products we've got coming up throughout the day. But I'm going to show you how you can create a large 8x8 card, but really the centre part is the focal point. You've got all this white space, but it looks really quite elegant.
Awesome.
So don't ever be afraid to leave white space.
When are you going to show us that, sorry?
So that'll be 9 AM here in the UK tomorrow morning.
Wake Up Call with Craig.
Wake up call with Craig.
What better way to start the day? If I'm up before 9 tomorrow, which is very highly likely, Craig, it's a bit of a funny time for me because I start work at 10, so normally I'm kind of rushing around, so I don't get a chance to sit down and enjoy Wake Up Call with Craig. But if I'm up before 9 tomorrow, I'm gonna pop you on. And do you know what I'm gonna do, Craig?
What's
I'm
that?
gonna pop you on the big telly as well.
The big telly.
If I'm up before 9, which is a 50-50 split, first day off. I reckon I'll probably wake up during your show. It literally will be Wake Up Call with Craig.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be, yeah.
I'm not counting my chickens for you actually being
You
up at
could,
that point,
I mean, if we could do like phones onto the studio floor, I mean, one day you could actually wake me up in Wake Up Call. You could call me, and if I answer, you'll know I'm up, and if I'm not, I don't answer.
Joe,
it'll be like big breakfast.
I've got quite a lot of freeway when it comes to the show.
Do you?
Yep.
Well, I reckon I reckon you could call me. You could actually just do it, you know, Craig. You could do it just on loudspeaker if you wanted to in the studio on your phone.
Shall we do it?
Call me tomorrow during the show. Wake me up in Wake Up Call with Craig. There you go.
Right,
if you want to.
Let's do that. I'm not sure if producer Laura's in. She's in the office. I'm not sure if she's watching this, but if she is, then there you go, Laura. We've got Joe's permission.
Might be fun. I mean, I'll be you'll get to hear me first thing in the morning. I sound like Barry White first thing in the morning. The call will wake me up. Even if my phone's on silent, a call will wake me. Do you know why, Craig?
Why is that?
Because it vibrates at a different pace than your alarm vibrates. A phone call does, and I know the difference between the two, and it'll wake me up. Yeah. And I do need to be up by 9 anyway. You're like my personal alarm clock, Craig, which is absolutely fantastic. Christine says, hello again. Hanging out for my car to get fixed. 13 paper pads were delivered today. Well, I chased the UPS man down, so my packages won't be sitting out my front. Steps for hours and hours, possibly get stolen. Can't let that happen to my paper and crafting goodies. And Joe, you'll have to send a telfie in. I will send a telfie in from home, Craig. You can be my alarm clock, and then I'll send a telfie in for you.
Sounds like a good idea. We will do that tomorrow morning. Finishing this one off now with the detail that we've got within this one. I've actually just noticed as well, I'm surprised you've not noticed, Joe, unless you have. I've kind of got my own way in this show.
You did?
I've got the clock on the screen.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
You don't like the clock, do you?
No, I prefer not to have the clock on the. We have what we've got here in the studio. We've got the cameras, 3 cameras here, and then right next to them we have these big TVs, and we've basically got what you can see now going out on screen, and the other shot that's coming up, which Charlotte's got, and then all the other cameras are on the bottom, and one of them's got the clock in it, so we can see how much time is left on the show. But I don't usually have the clock on the screen because I don't know why. I just prefer it not to be there.
Mm-hmm. I can understand, but you don't like it, I like it on, so.
Awesome. That is a beautiful, beautiful card. Is there a way with that creator card, the die, does it cut out as well, Craig, or would you use a guillotine to cut that away as a standard piece?
You would exactly do that, and I tell you what, so I'll show you that in a second, because it will literally only take seconds, Joe, but use that creator card for the centre, build up our flower, use some of the foliage leaves, and then use the sentiment along the bottom. But what I have got here, Joe, this is one that I had pre-prepped, so this is where you don't get the outside cutting edge to go with it, it's just the die. So what you would then do is you would cut it into your cardstock, then all that you would do is you would then just decide on how wide you want the border. So if I work all the way around, so I'm going to trim side by side, so you can determine whether you want a larger layer all the way around, or if you want a smaller layer, it's up to yourself. So when it comes to other collections where you get the outside edge, I will say to you, I don't always see the point of an outside cutting edge because you can do it yourself with the guillotine. It's great if you've got it there, if maybe you don't like using the guillotines, but you can then cut it out yourself. And then if you wanted it thinner, you've got that option to make it thinner if you want. I won't do all 4 sides.
If you wanted to create a mat for it as well, you could just measure the die cut piece and then just create an exact match for it.
Exactly.
Would you actually, that's a good point, Craig. So might be a good one. If you were going to make a mat for that, say you were to put like some mirror board behind it, let's say, would you cut the mirror board bigger first, stick it down, and then trim it to size, or would you try and trim the mirror board first and then stick the two panels together.
It's another one of those kind of like personal preference.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. So what you can then do, if you are confident in getting things lined up spot on, you could cut your mirror card to the exact same size as to your layer and pop it straight on. If you have a bit of difficulty with that one, maybe if you've got maybe sore joints or that and you find it hard to layer up, then that's exactly what I would do. I would then make my base layer slightly bigger, in other words, the mirror card slightly bigger, stick my layer on top and then trim, either with your guillotine or your scissors, or it could be even your craft knife. So it just depends on what you feel comfortable doing, but either way, there's not a right or a wrong way. It's what you feel comfortable doing.
Awesome, Craig. Thank you for that. That's a great explanation. Remember, if you want to go for this collection, if you're going for the whole collection, you are getting the best price. You are getting absolutely everything that you see here before you. It is incredible. £150, $202. As a Platinum member, that becomes £120 or $161, which is awesome. Club Inspired Platinum members, you're saving $94.78 in the UK compared to buying the individual elements, which I think is absolutely awesome. It really, really is. Right. Discovery kits. I want to go back to these. Now, we talked about these a little bit earlier. They are fantastic, and they are the most awesome gift. Do you know what they're really good for? They're a really great emergency gift, Craig. You know, just to have in the cupboard for birthdays, or, you know, maybe you're just going to see a friend you haven't seen for a while, maybe someone's child that you haven't seen for a little while. Because these are great. I would say these are great for maybe 9-10 years plus, maybe, I would suggest, and they're fantastic because they're going to teach you how to do different things. This one's been put together. They've all been put together by renowned artists, so go follow them. They're all across on Instagram as well. What you've got here are 5 pens in here. You've got 5 classic markers, an art liner, you've got the work pads, and you've got all the inspiration to do your own concept design. Rachel actually is managing the social media today, the lovely Rachel. She did these, and I think they are incredible. And what's great is it could be, maybe it's food designs, like macarons. Macarons, there's macarons out. I didn't see those macarons hiding there as well. Roses, you've got your pearls on there. I love it. It really is fantastic. Maybe it's fashion design that someone you know is going to be doing. Maybe you know someone wants to get into product design or architecture. Budding architects, this is absolutely going to be great for those. £9.59 or $12.76 for that one. And then we also have, and I did say about this earlier, we've actually got a Colour Me Happy show available for you to watch back in time. If you're new to us here at Crafters TV, just to give you a heads up, every single show that we've ever done as Crafters TV is available for you to re-watch over now on our website. We worked it out, Craig, the other day. A little bit of a rough estimate, right? Okay. If you watch them all back to back, binge them all without a break, you would watch it continuously for 3 months is how long it would take to watch it. 24 hours a day, it would take you 3 months, 12 weeks to get through it all. I'm going to see if we can get a bit of a more of a finite amount of time on it, because I reckon it'd be really interesting to find out. But yes, one of those shows that was on there is a Colour Me Happy show that we did with Baz Fernell. There was myself and Sarah, and Baz did a show, and Baz actually takes you through this himself. You've got 5 tri-blend markers, 2 art liners, 5 worksheets, and that awesome booklet that's going to explain all of the concepts to you, which is fantastic. We've also then got as well, these are the kind of things that you're going to be able to produce with this, which I think are just beautiful. And they're really trendy as well, mandalas, and a great thing to do. And a lot of people look at these and see them on screen and think that they've been sort of cut out and decoupaged up with dyes. They haven't. That is literally just the colour and a 2D, that is a flat surface that looks 3D thanks to the awesome colouring that's been done on there. I think they're awesome.
Be good as well for Joe is, you know how obviously you were saying gift it. Now, keeping in mind, this is exactly what you know and love from Spectrum Noir. However, at that price, if you've got, you know, any kiddies or grandkids and they want to use your Spectrum Noir sets and you're like, no, this could be this could be their little kit. It's, you know, for that price, you're getting all of that really inexpensive for Spectrum Noir. So that could be their little kit. So while you're using your alcohol pens, they could be using their set as well. That's something I would be inclined to do.
Absolutely, I think that's a great shout. Yeah, because a lot of children are inquisitive, aren't they? You know, especially to get to maybe like 7 years plus. If their parent or grandparent are working away with things, aunts and uncles, actually I think top tip, especially if you don't want them to, you know, especially if they're more likely to hold the pens like this and sort of drag them around the page, then absolutely a great idea for you to do. I want to just recap on some other stuff in the show that's been super busy. The Gemini 3D textured embossing folder collection is what we're going to start with, which is this one just here. And in here, you're going to get gossamer lace, lavish leopard, vintage scroll, peony bouquet, climbing ivy, and grande butterfly. They are the options. Well, not there are options. You're going to get all of them. They're available as well on a £12 or $15 if you'd prefer to cherry pick them. We've got some flower forming foam on the show for you as well. Always popular when we bring you this. You'll see you've got 7 sheets of the white in there as well, which is important. It's a really versatile one, the white, because it allows you to add your own colour. So your alcohol markers, your aqua markers, your ink pads, oil pastels, all of those different things you can add colour to. A really great price to get 21 sheets of foam, and I think the foam is really what sets our range apart from a lot of the others out there. The fact that it's heater activated and it's going to really stand the test of time. We've got some stamens as well if it's flower forming items you're after. 1,200 stamens here for £8.97 or $13.38. There is your price. Also, some Gemini cut and emboss folders with 5 elements, and I believe, Craig, you're going to be using these in your next demo. These have always been very, very popular. I love the hexagonal one that comes in this collection, Craig, but they're all lovely, aren't they? They
really, really are. I'm going to use the candy cane. Straight away you'd think candy cane Christmas. I'm not going to make it Christmas. What I'm even going to do, let me show you right now. Do you want a tease? It's to launch day on Friday with Hunky Dory.
This Friday? Oh,
this
always.
Friday.
Love that.
That's one of a number of new products to us.
New products, fantastic. Products you've not seen before here on
Nope.
Crafters TV, coming your way in abundance.
They are.
Maybe that'll be your opus, that show. Who knows?
Could be. That
Might
could be, yeah.
It may be. Who
Might
knows?
be. That's it. All downhill after that. Let's hope not, but you know, might be. Ivory card, what we've gone for. So I thought we'll go for the ivories and sticking with that woodland theme. There's a wee clue in that title. What I'm doing is I've cut this already down to, well, just shy to 5 by 7, so it's a perfect fit for our folders. It's cut and emboss, so you've got your die already in with the folder, and within these folders here, you've got this whiteness. That's a bit of really soft padding. At first, you might be inclined to pick that out. Don't. That's a bit of protection. You will cut into your folder slightly, but it doesn't do any damage, so don't worry. Key thing is don't take any of that white foam padding. That needs to stay in place. So what we're going to do is pop our ivory card in place, and this is our cut and emboss folder. So I'm bringing in my 2 cutting plates for my Gemini Junior. What I want to do is I want to add a little bit more depth, so what I'm going to do is add my metal shim, and what we're going to do is we're going to run this one through. I've swapped over to my Gemini Junior now because I don't need the large Gemini, so you know me by now, as Joe knows as well. Any chance I get, I always just dot back to my Gemini Junior.
I had a chat with Leanne today, Craig. You know, you suggested that I craft along for
Yeah.
that craft along. Leanne was well up for it. Thought it was a brilliant idea. So we're going to make it happen on the 19th of February. It's the craft along show. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
That would be really good.
If you want to, actually, do you know what? Do you want to be on the craft along with me and Leanne? You can be on it if you want. Send me an email, studio@craftscompanion.co.uk, put craft along in there. It's all about the pop-out numbers, so you will have to own or have ordered or have the pop-out numbers in order to take part, but we're looking for people to participate in that show, so email us if you'd like to be part of it. I'd love for you to come on the show.
That's going to be really, really good. I'm not sure, obviously I'm not on that show because it's Leanne, but I'm not sure what my schedule is for that day. If I am not in, or I don't have shows till later
You're
on,
craft along as well?
obviously I'll be in for Wake Up Call. I might craft along as well.
Fantastic.
I think that'll be really good.
Maybe we could get you set up in another part of the studio, crafting along with us.
There's an idea, eh?
Ooh, love that.
There's a really good idea. Might need to look into that one. Yeah, can you imagine? Crafting along. Like that one. What you could be doing, actually, if you use your pop-out numbers, you could be using these frames to frame some of the inserts of the cards
really
if you
nice
want.
idea.
Now, I'm tipping it there because I'm tipping it at an angle so you can see. This is actually the deboss side. This is technically the emboss side. No right or wrong way. Both looks really, really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of our gold gilding wax. We've got this little panel that die cuts out. I don't need that, but you could be using that elsewhere. What I am going to do is let's take that little bit out. Now with our wax, gold wax, very lightly for this one, completely different to what we've done earlier on with the leopard print. I'm very lightly going to go over the top, and I'm just adding some of that gold on here. That's going to pick out to the raised areas. And although I'm using the gilding wax, nothing's stopping you from using maybe your water reactive inks if you want to. You can be doing that. Or we've done letterpressing techniques in the past. You'll find on YouTube on Crafters TV. You can then do all your letterpress techniques of your colour with your folder. So there really is many different ways. And I think now, and I'm going to say it, thanks to us, Joe, at Crafters TV, I like to think that we are really starting to regenerate the love and the craftability of the embossing folders, all the different things that you can be doing. So it's good to see what everyone else is doing at home. But
absolutely, Craig. It's always lovely to just get tips. It's lovely it's lovely that we're all part of such a really lovely crafty community. That's the bit that I like most of it all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, you know, I know you always say you get tips and you get ideas from us, but when we see what you post on social media or even what you send in, we get some ideas as well. Always nice just to get our ideas flowing back and forwards from each other. But this is all that I'm doing, so very rustic within this one here with the wax. And you can see it doesn't look Christmas at all, does it? You wouldn't think it's Christmas themed. So now what I'm going to do is I've brought in already a bit of matting and layering. So this is from one of our 12 by 12 paper pads. So the brown is 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And I've done a matting layer with gold matte cardstock, and it's not 1/4 of an inch, it's very, very thinner than that. I only wanted a little bit of layer. And then I've got my adhesive on the back, but what I'm going to do is I brought in some satin ribbon, Joe. So I'm going to pop this one into place. I'm going to bend it back. You could measure it if you want to get it exact, but I'm quite comfortable just to pop it in as it is. I'm going to secure that again with a bit more tape. So we can add our tape on here. Then what I'm going to do is I've got another ivory layer, and this is what we're going to do by the end of this.
Is anyone else singing Ebony and Ivory in the head? I'm singing it in my head. It's Sir Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder.
No.
No, I heard it, Ebony and Ivory. I'm not going to sing any of it because I've got a horrible voice, but go Google it after the show. It's a lovely song.
I must do. Check that one out. It's funny, some of the things that we say. Sorry.
You all right?
Some of the things that we say, it can ignite a song in our head.
Honestly, and then they become earworms, don't they?
Yep.
When they just get in and they won't get out.
They won't get out whatsoever.
Yes. Magic Moments was in our heads the other day, all day long when Debbie Robinson was here.
Really?
Honestly, couldn't get it out. Yes, Magic Moments. I don't even know what it was by.
See, you just saying there a minute ago, not being able to sing. Do you know what I would love to do at some point? Is even during a Crafters TV show, maybe it's not even going to be a Crafters TV show, get Debbie Robinson in to sing.
Oh, yes.
I would love to see her. Well, I've seen her sing on videos. I've heard her sing.
Well, do you know what we need to do really, Craig? When this is all over, when we're allowed to, we just need to all find a local karaoke night when Debbie's up, I'm up, you're up, we're all here together.
Yeah.
And we just need to go to a local karaoke night, maybe in Darlington or Durham or somewhere like that around. Can you imagine how much fun that would be? Maybe that could be our works. You could do a little works. You know, we did a little works night out in the summer, didn't we? We went for dinner. Were you there? Were you down at Create and Craft?
I was not well.
You weren't
I was
very
meant
well.
to be,
Yeah.
but
you were meant to be there. I remember, and I couldn't remember you being there. We had a lovely meal in a place just around the corner. It was absolutely lovely. Everyone got very drunk. I wasn't working the next day. Derek was. I felt very, very rough. Came in the next day. Everyone had hangovers. But next time, maybe we could do karaoke. Maybe that would be the thing.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah, because I do remember I was in the next day, and I do remember a lot of sore heads the very next morning. Johnny and Kelly specifically had.
Yes. Sarah Davis may or may not have been ordering lots of Jaeger bombs and having races up and down the table. I know.
No, I couldn't drink
She's a
them.
bad influence, you know.
Tequilas, yeah, not Jaeger bombs.
Obviously, drink responsibly. Don't
Absolutely,
That's what
absolutely. Taking that layer that comes with this image, like I say, launch day, Friday, Crafters TV, hunky dory. And this is the one we've just done. Excuse me, Joe.
Got a bit of a tickler there.
I
Craig.
do, yeah.
You do.
This is the one we've just done. This is one that I done last night. The only difference, I've already popped my foam pads on. So we can then pop that one over the top, like that. Then we're bringing in our image. And what I've done is I've popped it onto 2 layers of foam pads for this one, because this is on 1 layer, so we've got height, but I really want this one to really stand out. And I've trimmed this image down, so it's going to sit nicely into the middle. And then I've taken, this is our shadow alphabet and numbers. Now this is what is the die cut piece. So you would tend to say this is the waste part of the numbers, but of course we don't use them as waste. What I've done, using them in the gold as well as the brown.
Do you know, I love the idea of earlier, Craig, on the earlier launch show that I did with Leanne, that pad that had all the die cut numbers in it,
Yeah.
that fun popping those out and using those, very similar to what you've created here with this, but I love the idea of keeping the waste and having it as a stencil to spread
Exactly.
through. I mean, such an awesome pad, that one, for not what you pop out, but also what's left behind, the waste. I think I would say sometimes the waste can be as nice as the actual intended product.
You're right, because you can spritz through them, you can ink through them. The thing is, you know, you can do any of your misting techniques, water reactive techniques through them if you want to. All that different craftiness that you can do. So there's many different ways that you can use the waste. So always have a look, like you say, have a look, see what you can do with the waste and see what you can come up with, because sometimes
2021.
Yeah. So I thought if I pop them in, try to space them out.
Did you make any resolutions this year, Craig?
Did I make? Well, I
Did
would
you use resolutions? Mine was to be kinder to myself. Was one of mine, and obviously I've got some running to do as well, so that's my two. But I
Yeah.
wonder if you made any. A lot of people don't make them nowadays, do they?
That's, yeah, it's always scared of either breaking them, you know, kind of early on, or, you know, maybe not actually having the time to actually focus on their New Year's resolution. But I thought, here we go. What I've done is I've changed that background cut and emboss folder, which would have been Christmas theme by the name, but using one of the little calendar tags. I know we're already at the end of January, but we've just used simple bit of embossing all the way around, an image coming up on launch day on Friday, using our shadows, and I've used what we'd have then die cut out as our numbers, and then we can see a bit of home decor as well. So when it comes to your folders, don't always think about your cards, think about what else that you could do. Another nice one for gifting. I know we're already at the end of January, but we've still got 11 months. No reason why you can't make little calendars to gift out to people, especially at the moment, just to make them smile and say you're thinking of them.
Absolutely. It's all about, and if you can spread a little bit of love and a bit of positivity, why not? Then why not? Do you know what, Craig? Quarter of an hour left to go. Should we do the vote for what people think was thus far, the best demonstration of the show for you?
Shall we?
I think we should have a look. I think we should. And that gives Rachel a bit of time to count those votes then. She gave me a nudge because the other day, Craig, I forgot until like 3 minutes to the end of the show. It was a mad scramble, wasn't it, Rachel? It really, really was. So let's have a look then at what you've made. Do you want to name them as you go as well, Craig, so you know what people not they need to vote for?
So, will we just do 1, 2, 3 and 4?
Why don't we do that? Yeah. Why don't we never do that? I've been giving them actual names. How stupid of me.
Just do 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that one there, then the lacy one, number 1.
This is number 1 that we done first one here using the rose garden.
Contestant number 2.
Then we went over to our 3D embossing folder, leopard print.
Cashier number 3.
And then we've used the rose garden again for the background, and we've made that bit of a dimensional card.
Clean up on aisle 4.
We've made this home decor frame 2021 using our cut and emboss folder, and we've used the what would have been themed as Christmas, but we have done it in that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. There we go.
There you are.
Fantastic.
And you sounded exactly like some of these self-service till voices.
Unidentified object in the bagging area. Oh. Do you know what? I judge a store by its self-service checkouts now. Do you know the best one I've used recently, Craig?
What's that?
Aldi. Some of the city centre Aldi stores, the one in the Arndale Centre in Manchester specifically, it has self-checkout now, Aldi, which is great because... you know, Aldi and Lidl, gosh, they throw it down, don't they, at the speed of light. Honestly, it's the stress of packing your bag. You pack it yourself, and their self-checkouts are fantastic, I can tell you that. Anyway, that's enough
Aldi
about
and
my shopping.
Primark, that just stresses me out with how quick they go.
It is a stressful situation. Number 1 is the early leader at the moment. Georgina sees it as a challenge, I think, when she goes shopping. Sandy says, these shows have been so much fun today. My Gemini Pro and lots of other necessary supplies are coming today. Our Northern AZ snow held up UPS for a couple of days. Is that Northern Arizona, Sandy? Snow in Northern AZ. I think AZ is Arizona, isn't it? I didn't realise you've got snow in the north for that. I always thought Arizona is way too far south for snow. I don't know why. Obviously, you have got snow. I'm not saying you haven't got snow. I'm not calling you a liar. I just can't get my head around it. Sonia says, the community is awesome, Joe, I agree. Diana says she loves that song. Rose says, Crafters TV in this community have helped me so much more than just crafting. I'm so grateful for it as well. Suzanne says, I decided that my New Year's resolution was to watch more Crafters TV. That is a fantastic resolution. And jump on the treadmill as well. Not so good. That'll take care of a couple of hours of running a day. Karen says, oh dear, decisions. And Shirley Sock says, you guys are too funny, but so talented. Craig's a talented one, not me, Shirley. Let's recap. I'm going to recap these really quickly for you, if that's all right. So, what you've got, I've got 5 minutes to recap. I am going to take my time. Right, let's take this through. So I want to show you the vellums first. Absolutely love the vellum. Look at the vellum when it's the vellum, one layer of vellum, right? I love one layer of vellum, and I always think it's beautiful. That's against a white background, but boom, 2 layers of vellum. I think it's the new vellum. 2 vellums is the new 1 vellum, Craig. You've got 24 sheets in here, 4 sheets of each design in there, which is fantastic. 6x6 size, and you're going to get the vellum pad in, 12x12 size, and you're going to get it in the 6x6 size as well. We've got the 6x6 paper pad. That is available for you as well. You're going to get that in this bundle. You can go for it in the big collection. Details on your screen. Those 3 are available in a smaller collection should you wish to grab them. You're also going to get as well, let me just pop over there. You're going to get your dies as well. Let me take you through. I'm going to whiz through. You've got Thinking of You, Fanciful, Fancy Floribunda. You have also got Filigree Foliage. The one that Craig used a little while back was a traditional rose that you can see. The rose corner's lovely. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that paper piece is what I was going to say. Apparently Arizona has got 2 ski resorts. Well, I never. My flabber is gasted. You've got that edgeable die there as well with the rose, which we love. You've got the Adorning lace as well. Plus, you've got the Rambling Rose. You're also going to receive in there as well the Regal frames. That one's going to come to you in that collection too. You can go for it in the big collection, or all of those metal dies are available in a separate, smaller collection for you as well. We've then got your embossing folders and your stamps. That's these ones just here. So in here, you're going to receive the Grande lace. You're also going to get the Rose Trellis. You've also got the Ravishing Rose, which is that one just there, and also Happiness Blooms, which is fantastic. That again, those 4 are available as a smaller collection on the web should you want them. Then we've got a load of individual items. All of these individual items are included, of course, in your big collection. So you've got the wax seal, which is this one here. Now that, you know something's fancy when it's got a wax seal on it. You really, really do. There's a Michelin star restaurant near me that has pivoted to become a burger bar over lockdown, Craig. Okay. Michelin star burgers, I know. And in the takeaway box, you open it up, the takeaway box all collapses out like a fancy box. You know those boxes that you open and they just fall completely out, whatever that is called? It's like that, and then the burger is in grease-proof paper, like vellum almost, and it's got a wax seal with the emblem of the restaurant on it. I know, super fancy. I've got pictures. I might post them on my Crafts Companion page over my few days off. Yeah. Someone remind me. I'm so bad at remembering what I've said I will and won't do, you know, Craig. You've got the wooden frames, they're available, they're going to come in here. We've got stamens in here for you as well. The flower forming foam is going to be in there, and of course you've then got the luxury cardstock too. And now also the only way to get hold of it now, it is in the big collection, is the 12x12 paper pad there, as you can see. Absolutely gorgeous. £150 or $202. So Arizona then, guys, although it's very far south, it must be quite mountainous, I'm guessing, as well. If it's got 2 ski resorts. How fabulous, I didn't know that. I'm so intrigued by the US, Craig. I haven't been for such a long period of time. Molly says as well, Joe, you are very talented. You are a great announcer. You make the show lovely. Oh, that's very cute of you. Now, back to Craig, because he's got something going on over there, and it looks fun. He's a fire starter, a twisted fire starter.
I am. All that I've done is, just before you come to me, just because it takes a little minute just to start off, a little minute, say a few seconds.
Well, should we do the winner?
Well, we'll do the winner.
Do you want to know what
Let's
the winner
do the
is?
winner. Yeah.
The winner's number 1.
What was
the
that?
lacy one, number
the
1,
lacy
yeah.
one.
It is indeed. That will go
Excellent.
into the cabinet of creativity, along with all the other ones as well that are up there. Your second entry of the week, Craig, I can see. Awesome. Are you on the leaderboard yet, Craig? Yet to get up on the leaderboard.
Yet to
Maybe
get on
this
it.
week is the week, Craig.
Maybe. Might be the week. We'll try. We will try. So what I'm doing, just blowing that one out there. I've let that melt, Joe.
Fire alarm's not going to go off.
That's what I'm thinking.
Can you imagine?
Just letting that melt. You could always do a little bit more, but it's not a quick technique. You know, it doesn't take hours, but on the other hand, it doesn't take seconds. So you would just keep letting that melt just until you've got a nice little pool or puddle of the wax. I've got a bit of black soot in mine because I was trying to hurry it along by lighting the lighter underneath. What to do? Best way to do it is do exactly what I'm doing now. Light the centre, and then what you're going to, or light the wick, and just let it burn and let it melt on its own accord. And then this is where all of that wax is then going to slowly pull together. I'm doing it onto my glass mat. You can use it, undo it onto your craft mat, your brown craft mat. Once you feel that you've got enough, what you can then do is bring in your wax seal, so your emblem. So you've got two choices. So you're then going to go over the top and you're going to press, not pressing too hard, just enough to wait until that cools down. And then when that cools down, you're going to be left with the emblem. Now, yes, I've done it onto the glass mat, but this is where you would do it maybe onto the seal of your envelope, or maybe in the corner of your card, or, you know, you can have it in any way.
Will it go onto ribbon?
You can do, absolutely.
I think it would look lovely as a floating piece on some ribbon, wouldn't it?
It would. It really, really would. So now we'll be able to see, so there we go, we can see it from up above. We've got that impression of the rose. The other one you do, we've got two, so we've got another colour of the wax.
I love the other, the fleur-de-lis, I think is really classy as well. I mean, they are two beautiful designs.
Now, I need to let this cool that little bit more, but when it's cool, even on our glass cutting mat, it's just going to pick off, but this is still a little bit malleable, which I don't want, but
That's
still,
a good word, Craig.
It shows you how then, what we could do is then, if you're doing it on its own accord, you can now pop this onto, maybe you want to do it onto a separate piece of ribbon or card, or onto your card project. So you don't need to do it straight onto the end of an envelope or ribbon, but you can do it as an individual element. But you can see there, that's how you're going to do it. Don't do what I do and hurry it along by actually melting the wax. Let it take its time by melting the wick. That's then going to transfer into the wax. It's slowly going to drip. You're going to get that nice, clean cut kind of impression.
Fabulous. Yolanda says, the wax seal set, I used it recently on an envelope to seal it closed and it looked absolutely great. Pamela R says, all been wondering about how to get a good impression. Always a great show, says Winstart. I love and enjoy watching, now trying to craft along with you. PPE Pam has emailed me, Craig, to say, I think there might be a picture in the drive. I don't know if we'd be able to find it quick enough. PPE Pam, she's called, because she came on one of our very first craft houses, and Pam had made her own PPE using acetate and some sort of like elastic system, and she'd made her own visors, and it was, honestly, it was one of my favourite ever craft houses. She's very, very good value for money, Pam. Oh, you found the picture? Do you want to show it? Do you want to share it? I feel like Pam gets more airtime than some of our craft experts here at Crafty TV. We love it. Do you know what, Pam? I'd love to have you on the show. I'll see what we can do. I'll find out who's producing our craft along and see if we can get you on. That would be absolutely fantastic. There's been loads of great stuff in this show today as well. Don't forget to go back and make sure you watch back all the shows. So other than your wake-up calls with Craig over the next few days, what else have you got between now and the weekend, Craig?
So tomorrow I've just got wake up call, and we've got Debbie Fisher. She's popping in. Can I just say, how gorgeous did she look over the weekend?
Beautiful. With her hair up?
Her hair was up, and she looked stunning. So she's going to be joining me tomorrow. And any of those that don't like scary talk, you might want to turn away, because we will be talking about both of our loves, of horror movies.
Oh,
Debbie
no.
does love a good horror film. So that's going to be tomorrow. And then that's the only show I've got tomorrow. I'll be heading home and then prepping for shows next week. But then on Friday, I've got Wake Up Call, and I've also got Launch Day, which is a huge selection of brand new hunky-dory products to us on Crafters TV. So it's going to be a lot of fun over the next couple of days.
It really is. I mean, make sure you join Craig. Ben will be with you for the next few days. So Ben will be here tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. I am back on Sunday. There's actually 2 really exciting things happening on Sunday. Something really exciting is happening during Second Chance Sunday. I can't tell you about what or who that might be about.
Oh, yes.
Craig's got that one. That's a good one, Craig, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Really, really good one. You know about that, Craig. And then I will be here with Sarah. There'll be no. I can tell you that there won't be a second craft vault on Sunday. Something big, real big, is happening on Sunday, especially if you're in the US. I've said too much. I will get told off. Grande Butterfly. I'm going to go through these embossing folders. I prepped it today. Yeah, let's just say nothing. Climbing Ivy is this one just here. We've also got Peony Bouquet, which is that one just there. You've got Vintage Scroll, which is gorgeous, as well as the Lavish Leopard Print, and finally the Gossamer Lace as well. All of those could be yours for £32 or $46. Great shows, guys, says Stacey. I have a relaxing few days off, Joe. I will have a relaxing few days off. Thank you very much, Stacey. We're out of time, unfortunately. It's been a lovely day. It really, really has. Don't forget, there's no second craft vault tonight. However, Sarah's going to be up on the Facebook page of HSN in an hour's time, in 1 hour's time, with Adam Freeman. So make sure you join the 2 of those over there on that Facebook page. What I would also say is, I think if you get on the HSN Facebook page, but it's also going to be shared out to the Crafters Companion US Facebook page, and I believe it will probably be on the Fans of Crafters Companion on a HSN page as well. Craig, huge thanks to you as always. Always a pleasure to spend some time in the studio with you. Big thanks to the team in the gallery who are over there somewhere, George and also Charlotte there as well. And the biggest thanks, as always, to you guys. I will see you back here on Sunday for Craft Vault at 11 a.m. was a really full day with lots of exciting surprises. So make sure you join me for that. Ben will be with you tomorrow. Peace and love, and I hope you have a great few days. Take care.
Bye.